Hello, good afternoon, and welcome again to Managua for the second game in Group B. And this one features the eternal champions, the United States of America, up against Costa Rica. And when I say eternal champions, you know what I mean, because the United States have never lost a match in regulation time, only on penalty kicks, in all the years that we've played in the Concacaf Under-17 Women's Championship. So can history be broken today by the Costa Rican side under the moon here? In Nicaragua, proud to host this event for the very first time. We've just witnessed a victory for Canada, and now the second match in this same group, Group B, sees the United States, who won all 5 previous matches against Costa Rica, scoring 28 goals and conceding just 1. Take on the runners-up from 2008. They lost the final to the United States. Canada are top of the group at the moment, but they might have expected to accumulate more than the 3 goals they got against a tough Bermudan side who were more resilient perhaps than the Canadians expected. So USA need to better that result to go top of Group B. Yesterday, of course, we saw matches in Group A and big victories for Mexico by 8-0 against Nicaragua, and Haiti 4-1 against Puerto Rico. So we've seen 16 goals in the 3 games played. What next from the United States and Costa Rica? We've not yet seen the flags of the 2 nations coming from the tunnel area. Small crowd waiting expectantly for the 2 teams here. And I'll bring you the team changes in just a moment. I say changes because both sides have made a few surprise switches from what we expected. Only to be expected, I suppose, on this early day. It might be a question of job limitation so far as Costa Rica are concerned, and they may well look to the other 2 fixtures to garner some points rather than against the United States. Nonetheless, there are 1 or 2 surprising omissions, and so far as the United States who are concerned, I can't tell you who the players are, but there are a couple who've got niggles and are therefore just sitting on the bench today rather than taking their place in the starting lineup. But once again, the States will start out as overwhelming favourites for not just this match, but for the tournament as a whole. In November of this year, all eyes will be on Uruguay when the World Cup finals at Under-17 level will take place. Now you can probably tell that the excitement is mounting via the public address system here, announcing the match, USA versus Costa Rica, in the National Football Stadium of Nicaragua. The Concacaf flag waves over the football, which will be used by these 2 sides. It will be picked up by a match referee from Jamaica, Odette Hamilton, a 38-year-old who was Jamaica's Referee of the Year last year, male or female. Costa Rica in familiar red and blue. The United States will favour their white strip this evening. The officials in grey. Important matches for them too, hoping for selection, of course, themselves for Women's World Cup later in the year in France and those Under-17 finals in Uruguay. Now the first of the day's national anthems, it's the Stars and Stripes.
azul de tu cielo, blanca y pura descansa la paz. En la lucha tenaz de fecunda labor, que enrojece del hombre a la paz. Conquistaron tus hijos, labiegos sencillos, eterno prestigio, estima y honor. Eterno prestigio, estima y honor. Salve tierra, salve madre de amor. Representa tu gloria marchar, verás a tu pueblo valiente y libre. Las contra herramientas de la nuestra. Salve patria, tu gloria, tu suelo, muy sabidos y centros. Bajo limpio azul de tu cielo, viva siempre la patria más.
Well, a joyful rendition there of the national anthem of Costa Rica. Let's see how they perform throughout the 90 minutes in a championship which is well and truly underway now. Plenty of goals scored, and we hope for a few more in this contest. The Americans, a reminder again, will be in their all-white. They've had a long build-up. They've played in 12 different countries on their way here, and this is the way they will line up this evening under their coach, the Englishman Mark Carr, with Angelina Anderson in goal. Kate Wiesner and Kennedy Wesley are the two most experienced players in that particular lineup. The beautifully named Sunshine Fontes is likely to be among the goals. The referee, well, she knows all about Sunshine. She comes from Jamaica. Her name is Odette Hamilton, and she's 38 years of age. Her assistants are Jacette Kerr, also from Jamaica, Mihenza Rinch from Suriname, and Quetzali Alvarado of Mexico. The Costa Ricans break for one last huddle as the captains converge on the centre line. Toss of the coin and the exchange of the pennants has been done then. And we can now look at the way Costa Rica will line up. Their captain is their goalkeeper, Fabiana Solano. And there's a starting place in the lineup for Maria Paula Porras, a striker. But Priscilla Chinchilla, the number 11, is the principal goal scorer of this Costa Rican side. She scored a couple against El Salvador and one against Honduras in the qualifiers. So it's cooler here in the evening now in Managua. Very dark, the floodlights on in the National Stadium. As we prepare for the action, the referee will get us underway in a moment or two's time. It's an awesome task, as they would say in America, for the Costa Ricans. Runners up to the States in 2008. We look at the list of substitutes here. And Samantha Kroger, number 13 of the United States, was one of those called up at the very last minute due to one of numerous injuries that they've suffered. Jordan Caniff, Leah Godfrey, Ainsley Ahmadian, and Isabella Dakia. She was the latest one, all having to miss these important championships for Concacaf. And eventually we get underway. It was a very strange kickoff. The whistle was then delayed. The ball was played back, and America are launching their first attack here. And what an attack it could well turn out to be as well inside the first 20 seconds. But that will be a goal kick as the ball runs out harmlessly. The goalkeeper in all green is Fabiana Solano, a 16-year-old from the December 2000 club. It could well be that was the year it was founded. Costa Rica would hope to settle early in this game. The Americans looking to get the ball up to Sunshine Fontes there, who's got a good goal-scoring record in the early stages of her career. The one player from Hawaii. Costa Rica with 3 centre-backs, it would seem, there. Number 18 for the States is Fontes from the Hawaii Rush Club. It takes her 5 hours to get to the mainland every time for training sessions from her home in Hawaii. A lot of American players forward here now. They're overwhelming favourites for this game, and they'll be looking for early goals. I say they've had a long build-up, but they've had a mightily successful one, losing only once in the last year to China, a one-off game that they were beaten 5-4 in. And this will be their throw-in, one for them by Della Peruta. Stern defending, coming in from the Costa Rican Chinchilla, but she's more known as an attacking force, having to join in the defending chores for the time being, though. The only Costa Rican left up front was Kayana Calvo. And there'll be a free kick for the Costa Ricans. And this is why they get the free kick. Rather too strenuous on the part of Sophie Jones. Come out of the academy, plays for the San Jose Earthquakes, a Californian by birth, and already the Americans are back in the possession. Nice weaving work there from Peyton Linehan from the FC Stars Club. Can figure among the goals. Indeed, the majority of the American squad have scored for their country in past matches. Costa Rica have never beaten USA at under-17 level in the women's game, and they'd regard it as a major coup if they were to do so here. Free kick here will go to Costa Rica. And just a quiet word for the attacker Samantha Meza, a Texan. And that's why she dug in just a fraction too hard. 3 minutes played, USA 0, Costa Rica 0. The Americans have played in every single tournament, every edition of this event, since the first running in 2008. They'll make inroads here. She has to check and turn, and now slips the ball across into the dangerous area where the Costa Rican defence come to meet it. It's all a bit haphazard, the defending, a bit of a scramble in there. It was a melee, but the Americans emerge with the ball and now advance, and there's a bit of space down the right here into the penalty area. First real menace to the Costa Ricans, and the ball is in the net, and the Americans have got that goal inside 4 minutes. It's the last thing that Costa Rica needed, and there's a consolation pat on the back for the Costa Rican number 8, Jenny Umania, and I think that she may have well got the final touch on this one. Out on the outside goes Peyton Linehan. Let's have a look here. Was it indeed the defender? Yes, it is. A rather unhappy moment in the first 4 minutes of the game. And Jenny Umania has given the United States the lead. It's an unlikely source, but she absolutely slammed it into the roof of her own net. But I'm afraid that has to go down as own goal. Nobody in a white shirt can take credit for that one. USA 1, Costa Rica 0, and we've not played 5 minutes. Well, it's a rather stunning blow for the Costa Rican Los Ticos. And she now has to compose herself by taking this free kick, Umania. How nice it would be if she could lay on an equalising goal. But she did receive some sympathy from those around her in red. Nobody ever intends to put the ball into their own net, that is for certain. Adel Lopez, the coach of Costa Rica, did not expect that. He might have expected a player in white to get the ball in the net, but not one of his own. Not at that end of the field anyway. And the Americans will attack with renewed gusto here. Nicely done. They're already looking menacing, taking up good positions, good interplay, and the ball is sliced from one side of the field to the other. Joining in the attack there was Kate Wiesner. They retain the ball with such expertise, and they create openings, and they're creating another one here. And this time the defender manages to get across the opponent and protect the goalkeeper. Solano beaten once already, but not by an American. And that's not the best clearing header either, and Costa Rica have a chance with Chinchilla. Who plays for the Arsenal club, not the one in England, nor the one in Ukraine. Oof, and a rather hurried clearance. It finally reaches the mark it was intended to reach. The USA to bring the ball out, to advance up to the halfway line via the centre half. Centre back is Kennedy Wesley. Big boot from her into the right sort of area, but well covered on this occasion. Costa Rica with plenty of defenders back to cope with that situation. Lining up with Gypsy Prieto alongside Jenny Umania at the centre of the defence. But it's inevitable we'll see a lot of American attacks. Now we focus on a Costa Rican attack with Chinchilla. This looks more promising for them. That's not a bad ball either if she can get in behind the last line of defence, and the answer was that she couldn't. But it was a welcoming ball played through by Maria Paula Salas from Saprissa. Salas, who scored in every single one of the qualifying matches for this tournament, though every single one was from 12 yards out, and you know why that was? They were all penalty kicks. Chinchilla leaves throwing duties to Pamela Gutierrez, also a goal scorer against El Salvador in those qualifiers. America's throwing this time. USA 1, Costa Rica 0 with 8 minutes gone. The fourth goal of the night after Canada's 3-0 success in their game against Bermuda, who are still waiting to break their duck on their debut appearance. This is nice movement, and if she can keep this one in, Costa Rica could yet be in trouble again. She does just manage to keep it in, runs along the dead ball line as well, squares it, but straight into the arms of the goalkeeper from Della Peruta. Della Peruta, who enjoyed a 16th birthday here yesterday. Nutmegs the opponent, as we say, kept the ball in and then put it into the arms of the keeper. There she is, Talia Della Peruta. Quite a few of the girls are celebrating birthdays while they're out here. One of the substitutes, Samantha Kruger, will be 16 next week. As will McKenna Morris from Bethesda, another of the replacements for the American side. Coached by Mark Carr, an Englishman from Kent in the south of England. As this one is just calmly nodded back to goalkeeper Anderson. The smaller of the two goalkeepers in the squad by an inch. She's 5'11", and Julia Dole is 6 feet tall. So two tall goalkeepers representing the Stars and Stripes, who are moving forward again, as we would expect. The ball is with the player who set up the goal, Peyton Linehan. Continues her run to try and get on the end of the return pass. But 1-0 will do for the United States in the first 10 minutes. Rather curious looking throw-in, but she's got away with that one. Not convinced it was within the rules, but she's made a good run here and continues to do so as well. This is a better pullback, not accepted by anybody in white though, but the shot charged down, a shout for a handball. Nothing doing from the referee as a little back heel was cute. It gets the States nowhere. Back by Jones. Down the touchline again is Della Peruta. Not quite sure which way to go, but she managed to keep the ball in play again, but it will now dribble out for a goal kick. To the relief of the Costa Ricans. Mark Carr, who's been in charge of the under-15s for some considerable time with an enviable record. He really has. They scored 49 goals without conceding one during his tenure. That is some record to live up to. But these under-17s are doing pretty well for him. They've had some big wins recently. Their biggest win ever was against the Cayman Islands, 13-0. And that would be embarrassing. No free kick, I don't think, here. America looking to extricate themselves by working the ball back to the goalkeeper. Who plays for the Mustang FC, Angelina Anderson. Costa Rica with the 4 players at the back. And that's worth a run, it's worth a race here to try and get to that one or to try and get a corner. Well defended. Very good defending there just to make sure that Peyton Linehan couldn't do any more damage. She was the one who set up the own goal with a cross. All quite calm out there. It's rather a surreal atmosphere because there's only a few supporters here. You can hear the odd shout as the Americans probe again with Jones. And then the option again is to play it all the way back from Della Peruta to goalkeeper Anderson. Hannah Bibar waiting out on the left. That's a good ball as well down the flank, and there'll be further support down that side. He chooses to come the other way instead. And the one thing Costa Rica have done so far is managed to keep the ball away from Sunshine Fontes, the likely source of goals for the Americans. She's up here now. That's a good ball. A burst into the area. A chance just depends where it falls. The goalkeeper makes a bit of a hash of it. And the clearance only gets as far as another American down that left side. They're coming on strongly here, looking for a second goal already. And here is the second goal. And it's delightfully headed into the net. That's a beauty from Peyton Linehan. We've had 14 minutes. We've had 2 American goals. Oh, they're so pleased with that because it was the delivery as well as the execution that impressed. Plenty of defenders back in here, but the cross is perfect and she times the run, does Peyton Linehan, and loops the header over the head of Fabiana Solano into the Costa Rican net. The cross was from Samantha Meza, and here is a good finish. 2-0 USA. That's perfect football, splendidly executed. And a deserved goal for Linehan, bearing in mind she set up the own goal as well. Ominous moments for Costa Rica. Remember, they only ever have scored 1 goal against the USA in 6 editions. They win the ball fair and square again. And then they lose it fair and square, and then they win it back again. They're looking for number 3 already. It's a desperate clearance, but a good one. Tricks the ball up over the halfway line, and Costa Rica have not been there really as an attacking force. USA looking good already for 3 points and perhaps for moving above Canada at the top of the table tonight. Canada still there, courtesy of a 3-goal margin in their victory earlier today against Bermuda. So much skill about this United States team. And sort of a deathly hush descends over the stadium again as the States move forward. It's a player calling for it down the outside right channel in Della Peruta. It's not found its way to her just yet. Instead, it's the goal scorer Linehan, who's perhaps impressed more than anybody in these early phases of the contest. And Costa Rica line up across the back again. Keeper's off the line, gets her hand on the ball, and then she's helped out to some extent by the defender, though the pressure is mounting on that Costa Rican defence. Let's see if they can pose any problems themselves moving forward. They don't get the free kick they were looking for there after the challenge on Salas. Leaves her beating the ground. This is a more ominous play from the States. Once again, the keeper off the line. Once again, it's pulled back by Linehan. Out for the corner kick. Linehan is having a blinder here for America. She's the one who is pulling the Costa Rican defence apart. Here she gets to the ball first. One thing on her mind, and that's to cut it back away from the keeper. She does that, but fortunately, Costa Rica's centre-back, Umania, was alert. The same Umania who unfortunately gave the States the lead with an own goal. 17 minutes gone. 2 it is, 2-0. Taken short this time. And not particularly well executed for once. Well, the ball is rolled out and Jones takes a quick throw-in. Well, still goalkeeper Anderson hasn't had a save or a shot, anything to do really, apart from take back passes. And then start things in motion again. In fact, you have to say that all 4 games that we've seen here have been pretty one-sided so far. But I'm sure that will all change when we get matches like USA against, say, Mexico or Canada. USA looking for number 3 here. It's a cross, and Linehan was in the right place again, but not quite able to get on the end of that one. This is the player who is doing the majority of the probing, Della Peruta. Heavily involved in this move, which features down the left, but the flag is raised on this side of the field by Jacette Kerr from Jamaica. And this is why she raised the flag. Very fine margins, but no complaint on the decision. Still not had 20 minutes. It seems a little longer than that, to be fair. But because the first goal came inside the first 4 minutes, I think that's the way it seemed. USA 2 to the good, thanks to the excellent strike, the header from Peyton Linehan, the 17-year-old from Massachusetts, who's certainly caught the eye so far. Costa Rica really struggling to get into the game. No free kick for them there. It looked as though they expected one. They'll really be happy to get through 20 minutes without the concession of a third goal. And they only need to survive another 20 seconds to say they've done that. Jones pushes it forward, and then a well-intended pass but didn't reach the intended target. And the player hustling for the ball on that far side was Kennedy Wesley from the SoCal Blues. One who played in the Under-17 World Cup, the Women's World Cup in Jordan 2 years ago, along with Kate Wiesner. Oof, that was nearly a very good ball. It was the first chance that you felt that Costa Rica might have got through. As it is, here come the States again. Sunshine Fontes has pulled back. Space created for a shot here, maybe. She's done it all by herself so far. Rather overdid it, though. Jones on the tackle here. Oh, fails to get the ball, and away goes the Costa Rican number 12. That was Maria Paula Salas, working very enthusiastically, but unable to make a break. 20 minutes played, USA 2 goals up. It's almost a thankless task playing against them. They seem to have so many options and they fall forward here. But the defender steps in line and she's recovered her composure well from that own goal. Genu Manya. Whistle does go now though. Cut it out, I think, is the quick message to Salas. From Saprissa. Now it's Jones who takes a bit of a dive. Not being allowed to take the free kick quickly. Once again, the referee, Odette Hamilton, has to speak with Maria Paula Salas. I think she's just rather over-enthusiastic, maybe. Very exuberant in the way she plays. This time the intervention is from the defender, Pamela Gutierrez, from the Liberia club. USA's throw. You may feel it's all a question of how many goals they can accumulate in this opening game. And you would certainly fear for Bermuda in the next match against the States, though they did particularly well in restricting Canada to just 3 goals today. And this Costa Rican side is not yielding at the moment after those 2 early strikes. Remember, the second goal came in the 14th minute for Linehan. Well, that's the longest back pass we've seen, but the goalkeeper Anderson is miles out of her net. So confident. This one's hoisted high. Ooh, and a miss kick. Won't come to any harm because the ball just bounces off the turf. Well, it's not turf, it's artificial turf. Jones with the initial pass. Linehan may hope to be on the end of another move here, but this is just played directly at the defender. Quick intervention, however, from Fontes, who hasn't had a goal-scoring chance, and there won't be one here either because Umania has stepped in, but then Umania concedes the possession. Trouble here for the Costa Ricans. It is pulled back, and what a save! It's the best save we've seen in the championship so far. Effected by Solano. It looked for all the world as though Sunshine Fontes was about to get her first goal of this championship. Umania losing the possession there. The race is on into the heart of the penalty area. There's the pullback for Sunshine Fontes. Well, they say she's always smiling. She won't be smiling. She might even be scowling after that save from Solano. Well played, the goalkeeper. Keeping it at 2-0. But a glimpse of the potential of Sunshine Fontes. And a corner for the States. Cleverly worked initially. And now it's Sunshine again. Played back by Croy Bethune. Anderson is about 40 yards from her goal. Just playing as a sweeper, really, rather than as a goalkeeper. Play almost exclusively in one half of the field. Linehan slides it through. Fontes pulls it back. Well defended. Only a throw-in. But a potential threat again to the Costa Rican net from this throw-in. The Americans are certainly creating opportunities for themselves. Della Peruta figuring twice in this move. She is so strong, a sturdy competitor. Foil there, she actually put her arm across the opponent. And she's not best pals with Chinchilla at the moment, I don't think. The referee Hamilton is just going to have a word here with Della Peruta and with Chinchilla. Well, I think the message is pretty obvious from them. This is why. Well, Costa Rica will be very pleased that they've got through the latest phase of play without a further concession. Having been 2 down so early, it would have been easy for them to crumble. They've not had much joy going forward, but they may now. They've 3 on the opposition half, and I think for the first time on the night they get a free kick in the American half of the field against the long-haired figure of the number 20, Sophie Jones, a 16-year-old Californian. So can Costa Rica put any pressure on the American net here? With the free kick to come from Pamela Gutierrez. It'll be right-footed. She'll hope for a lot of movement across that 18-yard area. It's headed back by the American defence. Costa Rica still trying to latch on to the ball. This will be a corner kick. A semblance of hope for Costa Rica. They, of course, performed so wonderfully in the Men's World Cup in Brazil 4 years ago, when they actually emerged top of their group. A group that included Italy and England. It was a terrific performance from Costa Rica. But these are the ladies, and they are the ones looking for a way back into this match. They trailed 2-0. They've done well so far. This one will be lifted across, but it's a bit flat. And therefore the chase switches to the other half of the field. No mistakes made. Well done again. And the free kick goes against the Costa Ricans this time. And the player who seems to be involved as much as anybody for them is the number 12, who's a real battler. You can see that, Maria Paula Salas. She's already had a bit of a ticking off. She'll not give second best to anybody, I don't think. We've had 28 minutes in Managua, and the United States have been restricted to 2 goals. One of them an own goal. And the quartet of Costa Rican players walk up along the touchline, just below our camera position here, along with the conditioning coach. They're warming up. Not that I expect any substitutions just yet. USA looking for a 3rd goal as we approach the half-hour mark, about 90 seconds away from that. And at half-time we'll be 3/4 of the way through the evening, so to speak, with Canada having featured in the first of the day's games. I don't think she'll keep this in. And the States have lost a little bit of rhythm in the last few minutes. They were so much on top in that opening quarter of an hour. You thought they might run away with this one, but that's not turning out to be the case. And the Costa Rican coach got a happier figure than was earlier in the evening. Jones with the first header. Free kick goes against Croy Bethune. Winning her 19th cap tonight, the girl from Georgia, plays for Concord Fire. Here's the challenge that produced the whistle. The foul was on Emily Flores from Suva Sports. Sometimes easy to forget that these players are all round about the 16, 17 years of age mark, some only 15. We've even got a 13-year-old playing in the championships this year. Born in the year 2005, that's incredible. Costa Rica's turn to advance down the left, not for long. There is Hannah Biba from the Eclipse Select Club, a scorer recently in a 2-0 win against Japan. The latest internationals the States have played coming here were in Japan. Costa Rica have done quite well in the build-up here and continue to do well. They can't prosper ultimately, though. Oh, yeah. They've almost won the ball back, and they will win a free kick in a handy position. The foul was committed On the right fullback, Maria Paula Porras. One of those brought into the starting lineup tonight, and this is why she gets the free kick out of Samantha Meza. Meza, who laid on the second goal, a delightful cross right onto the head of the goal scorer, Peyton Linehan. But this is a chance for Costa Rica. Remember, they've only ever scored one goal against USA in the women's under-17 tournament over all the years it's been played. It's their fourth appearance in the finals, Costa Rica. They've won 5 of their previous 13 games. They've scored 26 goals. They've now conceded 40 with the 2 this evening. But they have a chance of a first goal for themselves tonight. All depends where this goes. Just run out over the sidelines, right on halfway. And an enthusiastic little ball boy in front of me races down with the ball, but they don't want it. They're happy with the one they've got. Costa Rican throw taken by Pamela Gutierrez. And the States have not been anywhere near the Costa Rican goal for the last 5 or 6 minutes. More whistle, handball. Against that dominant figure, the number 12 for Costa Rica. She's caught the eye more than anybody, 15-year-old Maria Paula Salas. She's got some nerve as well, some bottle as we say, because she converted a 93rd minute winning penalty against Panama. No hint of a penalty yet in this championship. This is the 4th match and we're still awaiting a spot kick. Will the Americans find a 3rd goal before the break? 13 minutes left in the half. Launched long and headed back rather awkwardly. This will go out for an American corner kick. She looks a little crestfallen at that, as if to say, what was I doing there? Headed out by Gutierrez. An arm already around Hannah Bibar. There she is. The defender is Gypsy Prieto, trying to get the better of her physically before the delivery, which looks like being short. It certainly didn't work out. Odette Hamilton firm in her instructions. The player was attempting to take the throw-in from further down the line than she was allowed. Decent long throw. Jones intercepted. That's gone out. And the game has gone through a little bit of a lull in the last few minutes. Not a great deal happening. Seems quite a long while now since that header from Linehan gave the States a 2-goal advantage very early on the night, 14 minutes. So we've had another 20 since that goal was scored, with nothing doing. Now that will be a foul. Once again, it's the same player. I think Maria Paula Salas will do well not to get a caution this evening somehow. She's really at the heart of all the action. For all the probing, the States have not really opened up Costa Rica at all in the last few minutes. Might just give the coach something to ponder at half-time. Mark Carr supported on the touchline by Tracy Kevins and his assistant David Clark. The pedestrian approach for the moment. So much so, the ball is reversed by Kennedy Wesley to Angelina Anderson, who still has not been troubled by the Costa Ricans, the Los Ticas. So when we bring you the halftime statistics, unless Costa Rica can do anything special from here on in, I think we'll find out that the keeper's not had a save to make, and she won't have one a save to make from this either. Chinchilla there, scored a couple of goals against El Salvador and another against Honduras in the qualifiers. But there's been no service to the front players for Costa Rica at all as yet. Advancing is Wesley. Needs a better service than that. And Costa Rica are not having to work too hard to keep Sunshine Fontes quiet. She's had one excellent shot, a left footer, which the keeper saved well. And now it's Costa Rica with Chinchilla. Good ball from her. Is there any more pep to be added to this movement? It's a decent attempt to get the ball through, but it failed ultimately. There's a bit more pace here supplied by the United States coming down the right-hand channel. There are three forward. Here's one of those three, then the reverse ball taken infield by Linehan. It's all been slowed down again before Linehan accepts another pass. Here is Fontes, wants it on the left foot. Can't slip it through to a colleague. USA being made to work really hard to find a third goal in the half. 8 minutes of it remaining. All the time in the world for Wesley to look up and see what's available. The move is down the right, but the final touch is off Linehan and out for a throw-in. Costa Rica far more comfortable in the last 20 minutes than they were in the first 15, say. Yes, it went out over the sideline, off the head of Linehan, so consecutive throw-ins here for Costa Rica. They qualified from the Central American zone with 3 victories at the group stage against El Salvador, Honduras and Panama, and all without conceding a single goal. 10 goals they scored of themselves. In fact, this is a rerun of the very first match that the teams played in 2008 in the inaugural championships. USA ran out 6-0 winners then. And a decade on, the 2 goals towards repeating that. Longer this time. Nice header on from Sunshine Fontes. Welcome clearance as well from the Costa Rican defender, the number 14, playing at right back this evening, Maria Porras. Still work for the Costa Ricans to do defensively here, to keep it at 2. But that will be a push. And a free kick. No question that the Americans are the most prolific team in this championship. I don't mean this year, I mean over all the years. 139 goals they've scored, and incredibly, they've conceded just 5, which I make an advantage of plus 134. Their average is 5.48 per game. But only 2 so far tonight. Now this looks more promising. Certainly more promising. There are 4 forward here. Is this goal number 3? Oh, a check. No trip. I thought she was going to go all the way there. It really was a lovely run from Coy Bethune. Maybe she just overdid it a bit, maybe overconfident that she could take everybody on. But she is a joy to watch on the ball. There again, Croy Bethune. They've got to make the ball do the work. That's one of the oldest adages in football. This will be a corner kick. So more pressure for Costa Rica to withstand in these closing moments of the opening half in Managua. The player with ball in hand is the most experienced player, Kate Wiesner from the LA Slammers Cub. winning her 30th cap tonight. Jones is one of those going into the penalty area now. And the delivery comes from Sunny Fontes. So she won't be on the end of it. It's ballooned a bit. All depends where it drops. It drops to Jones. Slips it through. Up in the air it goes. Still a chance here. Pulled across. Somebody's got to get a shot in. It's scrambled away. Still a lot of American players in here. The flag is raised. It will not count. The ball is in the net, but due to that flag, it's still 2-0, and still Sunshine Fontes has not got her name on the score sheet tonight. The Hawaiian just trying to get back. And she may just have been onside, actually. But no complaint from Sunny Fontes. All the way from Oahu. Just 3 minutes remaining in this opening half. It looked as though USA might rack up a number of goals when they went 2 clear on 14 minutes. But they've not been able to find a third goal since then. And that latest foul on Porras yields Costa Rica the opportunity to play the remaining minutes of the first half in the other half. Umania. Costa Rica find themselves surrounded by white shirts. Struggling to get the ball away. Do so now. That was decent. And scrambled clearance. Knocked back for Jones. Better ball through from her this time. Chance for Linehan to play it through, but it's straight to the goalkeeper. And US may be just a little disappointed that not being able to add to those 2 goals scored early. Around about 90 seconds remaining in the half, and very little stoppage time, I fancy. There's a bit of a heap of bodies there, but it is the USA who come out of the tangle with the ball. Spread by Bethune. Trying to find different avenues. Happy to bide their time, and the ball played back again by Wesley. Anderson still untroubled in the first 45 minutes. Well, I'm sure that Coach Carr will expect a few more net-bound efforts in the second half. 39-year-old coach of the American side from Sidcup in England. There he is. Now lives in Austin, Texas with his wife and family. And that ball's been kept in, so a late chance for Costa Rica to register something meaningful in the half. But they've only a few seconds in which to do so. They may have taken too long. Still Anderson, the goalkeeper, has not had a save to make. And I'm not sure she's going to have to make one either now, as this move gradually sort of peters out. It looked quite promising when it was going down the left touchline, but down the right. And now as we hit 45 minutes, I don't think there's going to be anything there for Costa Rica. The board will be raised. It is now, and there's just 1 added minute. Thank you to 4th official Quetzali Alfarado.
El cuarto oficial del partido indica que se agrega 1 minuto más a este primer tiempo.
Quédese en el área. Salas, quédese en el área. Siga ahí.
It's been a strange evening in many ways. People expected Bermuda to be taken to the cleaners by Canada, but they went down by only a very respectable 3-0. And here the USA looked like running riot early in this match, but they've been unable to add to their tally since the 14th minute.
Porras ahí.
They've looked completely comfortable, completely at ease, dominant, but not productive. And I think they're walking through the closing seconds here, enabling the referee to send the teams away, back down the tunnel to the sanctuary of their dressing rooms. It was in the 4th minute that Jenny Umanya put through her own goal, slicing the ball into her own net from a cross by Peyton Linehan. And Linehan got the second goal with a delightful header on a cross from Samantha Meza. It's been pretty routine. USA are leading 2-0.
Visita nuestra página oficial www.concacaf.org y síguenos en nuestras redes sociales para las últimas noticias, resultados y los mejores momentos del partido. Impulsa tu juego. Gatorade se gana desde adentro. Transportes El Águila del Sur, desde hace 50 años, brindándole sus servicios de calidad y seguridad, comprometidos a crecer por y con ustedes, 100% nicaragüenses. Fuente pura, deja que fluya.
Let's have a look at the shape of that opening half then. As expected, USA dominant in terms of possession of the football, 66% of it. But somewhat disappointingly, they've summoned up only 5 shots at goal, 4 of them on the mark, 2 of them hitting the net. As for Costa Rica, well, we await their first strike on goal. Group B taking centre stage this evening in Managua. The United States in white expected to be dominant again here and to lead the charge to go to Uruguay. But the first goal was from a surprising source, an own goal by the centre-back Jenny Umanya after the cross here from Peyton Linehan. Just got her all tied up in knots. She certainly didn't intend to do that. Her own goalkeeper, Fabiana Solano, given absolutely no hope. But great credit to Linehan for posing the problem with the pullback. That goal came in less than 5 minutes. So early problems for the Costa Rican coach and his players. We maybe expected the Americans to be rampant after that. And indeed, they were looking for goals again very quickly. And that is an absolute beauty. Perfect cross laid over by Samantha Meza, and Linehan deserving the credit for this goal. If she didn't get the credit on the first one, she certainly got it for this. A looping header into the vacant net. Super stuff from the States. Maybe we expected a lot more after that. Linehan was really to the fore in this match. And then Sunshine Fontes whipping in a left-footed effort. Keeper equal to it. But it is the States who lead 2-0. Welcome back to the fourth segment of the day's entertainment here in Managua. It's Group B and it's the United States of America against Costa Rica. It's 2-0 to the side expected to win the match, but we don't know what's in store for the next 45 minutes as referee Odette Hamilton waits on the halfway line for the two teams just to organise themselves. I can tell you that there are going to be no substitutions at the onset of this half. With Costa Rica now attacking the goal to our right, if that's the right expression. They've not had many attacks. Indeed, they've not had a single shot as yet. But the States have not had as many as expected either. The first free kick of the half, awarded by referee Hamilton, goes to Costa Rica. Jones always enthusiastic about everything that she does. So let's see if Costa Rica can find a goal for themselves here. Remember, it would be only their second ever against the States. It wasn't the worst, it only needed a touch, but it was the tiniest player up there, Chinchilla, a 16-year-old. She is diminutive, but it only needed a flick of the head there, and she might well have beaten goalkeeper Anderson, who actually had to catch the ball. Here come the States now, looking more menacing, but the final ball didn't pierce the back line. Jones can't control it. This may have to be steered back to Anderson. It is. Well, the goalkeeper of America is busy in the first 2 minutes of this half as she's been all match. She won't be busied with this pass, which is right across the line for Wesley. A composed figure defensively for the Stars and Stripes, looking to add yet another title to the many they've achieved in women's football over the years. That's a decent ball in as well. But it's found its way through to the goalkeeper. None of these American players were born when the United States women won the World Cup back in 1999. An event I was privileged to be at. Matches in those days played in Philadelphia and in Washington. And several states in the United States represented by these young footballers. They've been here in Nicaragua for about a week now. Not a great deal of acclimatization to be undertaken. And Jones emerges with the ball. Finds a colleague too, but then it just peters out rather disappointingly. Anderson's having to deal with a number of back passes. Does so competently and then rolls it out. Stoudy, who played it forward there. Not been over troubled in this contest as yet. Stoudy. Well, this will be a free kick for Costa Rica. The player on the ball's done some good work coming out of the right fullback position, Maria Paula Porras from Saprissa. Chinchilla taken down, but no foul. Nor can the States find any of their own on clearing. Just inside their own half now. Chinchilla tussling. And that will be a foul. And the Americans try to break quickly. The ball is played through into the central position there. The Americans looking to get a toe onto an end of that ball, but they couldn't do. They might now. A sharp reaction. A few tussles here. Very physical. You forget sometimes how physical the women's game can be. And the number 7 at the heart of this was Samantha Meza, the player who laid on goal number 2. total concentration required. If the States can find the third goal, I think they'd settle for that for the time being and would happily just sort of see out the contest. It's nice to score as many goals as possible. Important to get a win on the opening day, get into a rhythm. There may be changes for the second game against Bermuda. One or two players carrying knocks. They've had a difficult build-up of the States to this championship with so many withdrawals. And well played here for Costa Rica, digging in to win the free kick. Again, it was Maria Paula Salas, who's, I think, taken the eye more than anybody else and wins the free kick this time out of Kate Wiesner. I should say Wiesner. That's the way she likes to be known. Kate Wiesner from the LA Slammers. Chinchilla, free kick here for Costa Rica, looking to halve the deficit, to get something out of this match before it's too late. And that ball will run out over the sideline before anybody in white can get to it. When you go back to 2010, Costa Rica were actually thrashed 10-0 by the United States then, so they've improved immeasurably since those days. We did see an 8-goal romp for Mexico last night against Nicaragua, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty of goals throughout the 2 weeks of competition here, but not too many this evening. 3 for Canada and 2 so far for US of A, who defend here now with their goalkeeper Anderson, a routine sort of a catch for her. This may provide an opening because there's a clear bit of field here to work with. And it is Meza still. Slows things down. Back for Wiesner. They're going nowhere. Hounded and pushed all the way. It will be a free kick, but there's a player rolling around in a bit of agony here. That player is Emily Flores. And there's a bit of ill feeling here between one or two of the players. The referee having to step in. It's not often you see this, and even the goalkeeper is coming to say her sixpenneth. And it's just got to calm down a bit for the moment. There's an undoubted push in the back, then a tangle of bodies. Emily Flores was the most injured party, I think, here. And referee Hamilton saying if you need a stretcher, we'll get one, but it's going to be a yellow card here for Meza. We've not seen many yellow cards. One here for Samantha Meza from Texas, from the Solar Dallas club. Just got a bit too heated. The referee in control of it. And when play resumes, it will be with a free kick. Chinchilla also taking a few words here. I'm not sure it's consolation or what. But the injured party, Emily Flores, will be returning to the fray any moment now. Free kick for United States, who've not scored for a long time. The 14th minute when they registered the second goal of the evening. An angle free kick goes beyond the Costa Rican defence. It is pulled back in here. There might be a shot. Sure there is. It's gone over. Big chance here. Wasted by Bethune. May have done better on this one. Let's have a look. The ball was over the top of the defender, Gutierrez. Knocked back in. She's at full stretch initially. Then as it drops, he slices it too high. So the United States not as clinical in their finishing as they might have expected to be. Still very much on top in the contest. And I'm sure they'd at least like to match the Canadian score from earlier in the evening and go joint top of Group B. Group A headed by Mexico. And at the end of this group stage, the winners of Group A meet the runners-up in this Group B, and the winners of this group play the runners-up in Group A. Here's an enthusiastic run. Come to naught. Once again, it was Bethune who led the charge. Good to watch on the ball, Croy Bethune. Well, there's movement down on the Costa Rican bench. Daniela Contreras has just come dashing down the touchline to take off the training bib to prepare for a slice of action here. She was one of the goal scorers for Costa Rica in the qualifiers, so I think they're hoping she might find a goal here this evening. And she will be on in a moment or two. As USA bring the ball out with Natalia Staudy, 17 later this month, the girl from Michigan. Better movement on the ball here from USA. A real chance of a third goal this time, but it's prodded out for the corner instead. Well defended by Gypsy Prieto. And Contreras is trying to make everybody notice that she's ready down on the touchline. Not sure the substitution will be effected though before this corner kick comes over. Costa Rica would hate to concede now just as they prepare to bring on fresh legs. Too deep if anything. Very happy, isn't he? Cheerful at the moment. And now Costa Rica can effect that alteration in personnel. Here it is. Nobody got a touch on that. And although Jones gave chase, the throw-in went to Costa Rica. And Contreras is coming on in place of Nicole Gomez. The Coronado player giving way here to a goal scorer, Daniela Contreras, who netted in a 4-0 win against Honduras.
Sustitución en la selección nacional de Costa Rica. Al minuto 58 de partido.
So the first change in personnel made by Costa Rica.
Con el 15, Daniela Contreras.
They'll be playing Canada next in a couple of days' time. There's not much leeway in the schedule here. Matches coming thick and fast, and by the time we get to it tomorrow, those sides who played yesterday will be in action again. It's quite a test on the minds and the limbs of these young players. Costa Rica still trying to impose themselves on this game, and they'll have some more defending to do again now. Can they breach that Costa Rican line? It needs a good pull back here. Oof, down goes the player on the ball, but no foul committed. That's a dangerous place to dribble, but she's managed to effect a clearance. And it was quite a good one as well. No free kick. An American break is on here. Needs a good ball though. It's a square sort of a pass. Bringing in Della Peruta. There's plenty of movement here from the Americans. And they've got themselves a corner kick. A bit more impetus here. That was the moment that Sunshine Fontes went down. It was a decent challenge though in the opinion of the officials, and that's all that counts. But The Americans have been loath to hit corners long. They've generally taken short ones this evening. And it looks as though that will be the ploy once again, maybe. Look at that. What a huddle. There's barely an inch between the bodies. Well, now they're all racing all over the place. Oh, they've got their third goal. It's a clear header. And the United States have poached a third goal here, despite all those bodies in the line of the Costa Rican defenders. It's high fives on the bench. The substitutes all join in. The one who rose highest, I believe, was Kennedy Wesley. Here she goes. Watch her run. The number 5, well, she didn't need to run very far, but Kennedy Wesley, with a nod of the head, gets her 14th international goal in just 29 appearances. Not bad for a centre-back. And the USA are on their way into the next game with goals in credit. Goals in the bank, and they now have matched the Canadian performance earlier in the evening. Goal number 3 for the United States goes to Kennedy Wesley. Exactly an hour played. And they're coming on strongly again now. Looking even more ominous for Costa Rica. It could be 4 any moment now. It's a hard, low drive. Meza foiled with the fingertips of Solano. Not sure whether it was going to go in, actually. We'll see as the ball sighs across the ground. Was it going in? I fancy it was maybe going to strike the base of the upright. The USA are going to react to that third goal by making a switch. And Meza, in fact, will be the player coming off. She looks a bit bewildered. But off she comes to be replaced by Diana Ordóñez. Well, Meza at least set up 1 goal. The new player is from FC Dallas. This is just her 4th cap, and she might hope to get her first goal. Never registered yet for USA. And there's another mad collision of bodies in here. They've just scored 1 from a header. They're looking to get another. Costa Rica quite vulnerable at the set pieces, it would seem. Oh, great running. Oh, brilliant. A weaving run. Can she finish it with the shot? Yes, she can. And it flicks off the top of the crossbar. A super effort, though. It really was. And very unlucky for Linehan not to have another goal to add to the collection. She's got 1 tonight. She set up an own goal. And this was close to a 4th within 2 minutes of the 3rd going in. Costa Rica on the back foot at the moment. They're backpedaling and they're about to bring on Medellin Guerrero. All smiles out there for the Stars and Stripes. Who are actually pinned back in their own half for once for the Costa Rican free kick to come. The latter about to make their next switch. And that's not a bad place to put the free kick either. I think it's just going to be seen dead. There was a push as well. And I don't think Chinchilla will get away with that. The push into the back of the most recent goal scorer, Wesley. And now Costa Rica will make their change. And the player who is being replaced is Kiana Calvo. And on comes Medellin Guerrero.
Sustitución en la selección nacional de Costa Rica.
Calvo had little chance to shine. Let's see what 16-year-old Guerrero can do. Scored in the comfortable qualifying victories against both Honduras and El Salvador. Well, if ever the Costa Ricans needed a goal, it's right now. One would be a mere consolation, I fancy. A scrap of comfort. Fouled his pass. better looking approach play from the United States. They've suddenly got the bit between their teeth here now. Goal kick, the final touch was off Fontes. Worked hard, the Hawaiian, but she's had no fortune near the net. One stinging shot saved in the first half by Fabiana Solano. USA 3, Costa Rica 0. So as of this moment, we have joint leaders in Group B, with Canada and the United States both tied on +3 and 3 points. Short free kick from Foudy. Stoudy, rather. Stoudy again. Some energetic play down this left touchline, which might yield a corner kick. It does. The work was done down this left touchline to win the corner out of the right fullback, Porras. Kate Wiesner to take this one. And Bibar up on the goal line. Scorer recently against Japan. Can she be a scorer again tonight? Well, not just yet, because it's come a long way back here. Play almost at a standstill there. Yeah, the ball just went out over the sideline before it came off the American shin. So Wiesner will take the throw over the top of the Costa Rican defense as well. Nicely done, but that's a free kick. A rather robust challenge going in on Hannah Bibar from the Eclipse Select Club. And there is that robust challenge I was referring to from Emily Flores, who will now have to take up a station inside her own penalty area, close to her own goalkeeper. USA looking for goal number 4, which would take them top of Group B, ahead of Canada. And they have been slightly more impressive than the Canadians were in their victory over Bermuda, who were resolute, if not over-adventurous. America looking for goal number 4 with 23 minutes left in this contest. They've scored from one set piece, and well, that's a good effort to keep that one out. Consecutive corners in the last couple of minutes for the States, who are contemplating making another substitution, and here it comes now. The board is lifted to show that Michaela Agresti is ready to replace Stoudy. Stoudy there going off behind the goal and then trotting round. I don't know whether she knows or not. I think she does.
Sustitución en la Nacional de Estados Unidos. Al minuto 68 de partido se retira con el número 15 Natalia Stout. Ingresa
One defender for another. The latest is from Massachusetts, 16-year-old Michaela Agresti. I wonder if she could find a goal straight away. Not just yet. The ball safely in the hands of Fabiana Solano, the 16-year-old Costa Rican goalkeeper, who will hope not to concede again with 22 minutes left on the clock. Well, the Americans enjoying the vast share of possession, as we expected. Not much of it with Anderson, the goalkeeper. It may well be that they'll give a run out to Julia Dole, German-born, the goalkeeper, the second goalkeeper here. She may get some time in a match situation. She's won only 2 caps, the least cap player in the squad. But it will be a good opportunity to give her a match, maybe in the next game against Bermuda. But the Americans really motoring here. And you look for them to break and get goal side of the Costa Rican defence. That's exactly what they do, and the Costa Ricans not yet able to clear their lines. It's played out of the 18-yard area, but then we'll come back that way. Well, plenty of corners being conceded by Costa Rica right now, but they don't mind that. It's goals they don't want to concede. One substitution still available to Costa Rica. They've brought Contreras and Guerrero on. It's been hard work for them. And look at this, it's a crazy situation that we've got. And then what will happen is the Americans will suddenly burst out of that bundle of bodies. And last time it worked because the number 5 in the centre of your picture there got in a clear header. She'll be looking to do so again. All depends on the delivery. It's just too high for her. The twist of the neck. And out it went off the back of the head of Kennedy Wesley. But she's not too concerned because she has a goal to her name. But those set pieces are really interesting. Goodness knows what goes on in the middle of those huddles. 20 minutes to go. The game very much going as expected, as all 4 matches have so far. With the exception maybe of Canada not piling on the goals against Bermuda, as might have been anticipated. This is Agreste, the newcomer on the field. She's already covered 30 yards. She's picked out a colleague with the pass as well. For once, Costa Rica are able to break, but not for very far, not for very long. Once again, a free kick against the Costa Rican player, and it was almost inevitable. I think about half an hour ago, I predicted that there would be a card tonight for Maria Paula Salas. And this is why she gets one. She is totally committed, absolutely wholehearted in everything she does. But she has a pull back there on Wisner. And no complaint, surely, from Maria Paula Salas getting the card. 2 yellows in this match now. Samantha Meza, who's left the fray, got the first of them. And this free kick comes from Sonny. Hoisted in high and headed out aimlessly wide. 18 minutes left of this particular contest. USA can also make one more substitution. That was a really strong forward header. And they've a real opportunity here. Keeper off the line. Well defended by Costa Rica. For all the world, it looked as though the States may be in for goal number 4 there, which would have carried them top of the group table. They may still get there with 17 minutes plus added time remaining. For the moment, they're having to settle for a 3-0 scoreline. It was 2-0 at the break. And they found one more goal from the head of Kennedy Wesley in this half. Well, some intricacy in this move. I'm not sure there'll be any... Oh, that's a great run. That's absolutely brilliantly done. Oh, and how did nobody get on the end of that? Well, that must be very frustrating for the player who did all the hard work and then found there was nobody on the end of the pass that she essayed into the penalty area. Lovely work all the same. And the States are looking threatening enough to get a 4th goal, and this may well be it. It's not there yet, still bobbling around inside that Costa Rican half. Almost too many in white shirts in there. I suppose that's not possible really, but the ball didn't fall kindly for anybody in the white. Just over a quarter of an hour remaining in the final action of the evening here in Managua, but the referee is going to halt proceedings because there's somebody down in the penalty area, and that somebody is goalkeeper Solano. We always wait to see whether physiotherapists are required, and yes, they are. So sprinting out off the Costa Rican bench comes Sofia Serrano to see where the problem is. A bit of an ouch, a bit of a desire for a drink of water. 16 years of age, Fabiana Solano from the December club. And it gives everybody else the opportunity for a bit of a gurgle as well. Mark Carr looking quite calm. It's a decent scoreline for the States, this one. This is all he wanted. Just a nice steady start. Other tests to come. The next one against Bermuda. So this was a lovely run along the touchline. A rather ungainly slice of the ball in the air. That was a really good dribble. Fabulous play and deserved reward. But all it got was a thump against the crossbar from Linehan, who has been one of the most eye-catching players out there tonight, Peyton Linehan. Remember, she set up an own goal, driven into the net by Jenny Umania after just 4 minutes. And then Linehan headed the second goal from a cross from Samantha Meza on 14 minutes. So she has really imposed herself on this contest. And play resumes in that half of the field where it's been centred for much of the half. Once again, goalkeeper Anderson a spectator at the other end. Defender hemmed in, but it will be a Costa Rican throw. Pamela Gutierrez. And Costa Rica will not be too disheartened. They came here with a game plan. That was to frustrate the States. That went out of the window a little bit with that 4th minute goal. But they've battled manfully against the odds. Against superior opposition, obviously. Jones, a lusty challenge from her to win the ball back when it seemed she might be losing it. That's a bit of a giveaway. Is there a run on here, but just ran out of space and time, and as a result, we'll have to get back. Costa Rica on a charge here. They 5 forward. Oh dear, such a disappointing pass out of defence. There was a real opportunity for Costa Rica there, instead of which they're now fighting to get back, really on the back foot here. A big, big opportunity for the States, but all they get for the time being is a corner kick. Well, the game was really split wide open there with the Costa Rican break, but it was a poor ball laid forward. That gave the opportunity for the break from Agresti, and she's won the corner. There is number 19, Michaela Agresti, alongside the even taller substitutes, Diana Ordonez. They've 12 minutes left in which to find a goal to take them top of the table. USA. Here's another header. Could be a good one. It's a beauty. It's a perfect header. And the United States of America are going top of the table. Nothing Solana could do. She's rooted. And these set pieces are really paying off for the United States now. Lifted in high. Up go the heads. There were 2 in there together, actually.
De la Selección Nacional de Estados Unidos.
And let's see who was on the end of this one. Jones was certainly one of those up there for it. And I think it is her who has claimed this goal.
Costa Rica 0.
From another angle, it is indeed. It's the head of Sophia Jones that strikes goal number 4 for the United States of America. And a lovely moment for the girl from San Jose. It's her first ever international goal. USA 4, Costa Rica 0. And they've got the bit between their teeth again now. They're looking for goal number 5. It's driven in. Fisted out over the top. Super save from Solano. She's made 2 top draw saves this evening. And this one is yet again to deny Peyton Linehan. Linehan, who would be a candidate certainly for my player of the match. She really has been at the heart of most of the good things. And we are inside, or coming up to the last 10 minutes now, with the USA piling on the pressure, trying to pile on the goals. Separating themselves from Canada, top of the group. Just kept in play by Jones, who backheeled it, but no, it's got out for the goal kick. The Americans make their last switch of personnel here. And replacing Sunshine Fontes will be Samantha Kroger. Fontes unable to add to the 13 international goals she's enjoyed in her short career. And the replacement didn't even know she was going to be here a week ago. But Sam Kroger, who has international experience, plays for the beautifully named world-class football club, comes on for a fourth international appearance. Replaced the injured Isabella Dakia, who had an ankle injury. And that's the three switches available to the coach, made now. They can actually make 4 these days, but if need be, I think most coaches are happy with 3. Costa Rica's free kick. Fell straight into American hands. Lovely turn, lovely run as well. A good play from Croy Bethune. Costa Rica giving as good as they're getting, though, for the time being, and have a free kick here. The offender protests her innocence, but Kennedy Wesley has undoubtedly caught the opponent. She was trying to win the ball. That's a fair enough challenge. It was on Maria Paula Salas. And we've got 8 minutes to go. The USA 4, Costa Rica 0. Costa Rica with a good attack. Not for long. A rather hurried first time ball that was unnecessary. And this should be steered safely back to the goalkeeper. The flag had been raised anyway before Chinchilla tried to get in. She looks a frustrated figure, does Chinchilla. There she goes. Agresti, very tall, long striding player. It's a second dig at the ball. Could do no better than reverse it to Anderson. Well, it's been the sort of match and performance you expect from the States. They might have got more than the 4 goals they have. They might yet get more. But uppermost in their thinking is not to concede. And, they've not conceded as yet, and they look for a 5th. It was all a bit harum-scarum there. Well, Chinchilla is a tiny little dot, and she can't continue the move, though the ball is played against one of her colleagues, Contreras. Once again, Anderson having only to deal with back passes. Agresti. All the time in the world for the States to play out these remaining 6.5 minutes plus added time. And you're 4 goals to the good, you're happy enough. And they are top of the group as things stand right now, 1 goal superior to Canada. And you would imagine the USA could embarrass Bermuda with an even bigger scoreline. But I think the question for Mark Carr will be whether or not to change the personnel for the next game. You could imagine he will give run-outs to the likes of goalkeeper Julia Dole and maybe McKenna Morris, maybe Maya Doms as well, I would have thought could get a run in that one. or whether he wants to keep the same personnel that have done the job for him tonight. Anyway, that's very much for the future. That's going to go straight through to Solano, who's been beaten on 4 occasions. And that's a bit of a giveaway from the goalkeeper. That wasn't very intelligent. Maybe they can find a 5th goal here. The Stars and Stripes smashed in, but right into the arms of Solano. 4-0 it is, and 4-0 will do. Costa Rica's throw. Well, I hope we get slightly larger crowds as the competition advances. There's a great deal of effort goes into these matches from the organisation and from the playing staffs of both sides, well, all 8 teams. So they deserve bigger attendances, but who knows? The USA looking for goal number 5. Can't get it just yet. Might not get it at all tonight. A rather tired clearance, however. Although Guerrero should be less tired than the rest. She's not been on the field very long. 4 minutes to go. USA 4, Costa Rica 0. And often we do see goals come late in matches. Tiredness of mind as well as tiredness of limbs. Offside. Never much doubt about that. But she's been one of the better performers on the evening. Croy Bethune from Georgia. And has just gone there. Well, the officials have to be concentrated as much as the players here. Costa Rica with a chance, and Chinchilla. Oh no, she's going to be pulled up for offside. That was a shame. It looked promising for a moment. She's having a look across at the official, but she's hardly going to change her mind. A shake of the head. She knows the decision. Still shaking her head. Still 4-0. 3 minutes to go. And Costa Rica with a very belated substitution imminent. Ariana Dobles, a 16-year-old defender, doing a few stretching exercises on the halfway line. She's not going to have much playing time, that's for certain. Has to wait until the ball goes out or until there's a stoppage. It may go out here. Oh, maybe she wanted the substitution to be made on behalf of Dobles, who will now come on to replace Chinchilla. I think the coach felt that Chinchilla was getting a bit frustrated. And so she will have to wait for the arrival of Ariana Dobles.
De Costa Rica. Al minuto 88 de partido se retira con el número 11 Priscila Chinchilla. Ingresa con el número 20 Ariana Dobles.
USA 2 minutes away from going top of Group B. And that was the object of the exercise so far as Mark Carr and his team were concerned. And they've done it to perfection, really. 2 goals in each half. And a free kick to come as well. Taken by Wesley. Jones. It's been a spirited fight put up by Costa Rica. Always been second best. There's a very ambitious ball over the top, but it's taken in stride. But once again, the flag has been raised. And we are inside the last 60 seconds now. I don't think USA will be too worried if they don't manage to find a fifth goal, but they are still looking for one. And they still have a chance as well of getting it, but I think that's going to go out over the dead ball line. And there will not be a great deal of added time, I imagine. Solano's had a busy night. Earlier, the Bermuda goalkeeper did very well to get through 90 minutes because she was limping throughout. Anyway, she only conceded 3 times against the Canadians. Costa Rica on a charge here. There's a late crumb of comfort for them. They need to get bodies forward. They need to get the ball inside the opposition penalty area. They can't get the shot away. We're 22 seconds into that added time, although the board is just going up now, actually, and it shows 2 minutes.
Oficial del partido indica que se agregarán 2 minutos al segundo tiempo de este partido.
It's been a hard-working, if unspectacular, performance from the States. They've done the job. They got off to a rip-roaring start with 2 goals in 14 minutes. They've since added 2 more in this half, both from set-piece situations, both from headers, which just shows you how strong they are in that particular facet of the game. And unless something dramatic happens here now, they will go into the second of the matches in a couple of days' time with a 1-goal superior difference to Canada. Croy Bethune was taken down there. This has to be the last action. 30 seconds remaining of the added time. 50-50 ball won by the Costa Ricans. Jones for USA. And this surely has to be the last act of the evening with Costa Rica building an attack. It would be a shame if she blew the whistle now. Here is that substitute, Dobles. But as it all breaks down, you imagine the match is petering out. The referee will see what the USA can achieve here. It has to be the last attack. And I think the referee will say enough is enough. She blows the final whistle. It's victory for the United States of America. Mark Carr pleased to take the 3 points. He goes and shakes hands with his opposite number. But the goals from Sophia Jones, Kennedy Wesley in the second half, Peyton Linehan and an own goal by Jenny Umanya in the first half all add up to a 4-0 win for the expected champions, United States.
Damas y caballeros, ha llegado el momento de anunciar a la futbolista más destacada del encuentro. La jugadora del partido es de la Selección Nacional de Estados Unidos, con el número 16, Peyton Linehan. Gracias por acompañarnos en este segundo día de actividad del Campeonato Femenino Sub-17 de Concacaf. Tengan todos un buen regreso a casa.
Estamos con Fabiana Solano, capitana de la selección de Costa Rica. Fabiana, a pesar del resultado de hoy, ¿qué rescatas de tu equipo?
Bueno, creo que hicimos lo mejor que pudimos y creo que todo lo que habíamos trabajado lo hicimos bien. Claro, hay cosas que mejorar, pero estamos contentos con el trabajo.
¿Qué deben de mejorar?
Bueno, la táctica fija y bueno, muchas cosas. Debemos de mejorar y vamos a agarrar este partido para referenciar lo que tenemos que mejorar.
Gracias y mucha suerte.
Gracias a ustedes.